this thing on? Let me check the live dashboard. Hello, this is Dave. This is What's Up Dave for Monday, November 13th. It is 7:15 p.m. and I am super behind on all my work. My dad's visiting for the month of November, pretty much. He'll be here till Thanksgiving. And my sister and her boyfriend were here over the weekend as well. And it's been nonstop cleaning and prepping and cooking and doing all that stuff like since the week before Dad got here. Before that, I was catching up on other projects. And before that, I was catching up on another project. And I am way behind on my Groundhog Day Resolutions, which are my yearly goals that I do. I review every month. And the Groundhog Day Resolution review for November is on November 11th. There's one more coming up, which is December 12th. 12th? 12th? How do you say 12th? But, oops, I didn't update this description here. Monday, November 13. This should be, What's Up, Dave? I'm just looking at this screen over here. Why is it working? What's up, Dave? So I'm just trying to blast this thing out before I need to cook dinner in 13 minutes. We're having pork and onions and rice and beans for dinner tonight. Pretty simple. We're both on diets. Or Dad says he's on a diet. I think he just wants to show me solidarity. He's like 135 pounds, and so he wants to lose a few pounds because he is feeling a little bit fat. And that's very cute, and I'm trying not to think too much about how my 200 plus pounds that I'm trying to reduce down. Well, okay, what's going on otherwise this week? Not a whole lot to show. I guess there's these newsletters I've been working on that might be fun to share. Just move this camera over here. So while Dad is here and my sister is she lives quite a bit further away from here, so she only comes up on the weekends, so she misses out on a lot of the stuff that happens during the week. So I thought that I would make these newsletters. These are 2-page newsletters, and I'm just figuring out how to use InDesign again. And so there's topics that I talk with my dad about, such as how to cook a steak in an oven. Dad's a little hard of hearing, and his English is out of practice. So he lives in Taiwan now. So he's not used to hearing English spoken, particularly the way maybe I speak English. And since he's also hard of hearing, a lot of the things I tell him in detail, sometimes I think he misses the nuances of it. So for something like cooking a steak, I'm pretty sure he didn't understand anything I was telling him. So I wrote it down so he could absorb it. So just the things that we've talked about, I summarize it on these, and I send a copy to my sister as well, so she can see what we talked about. Although this weekend, we made, we took out a dinner from a local place here. Yeah, so I just fill this stuff in with things. I'm also getting a little bit of a handle on how to use InDesign again. The last time I think I used any layout programs for any kind of thing was probably for school back in 93, 2003, so over 20 years ago when I was doing any kind of layout stuff. So I guess I'm getting the hang of it. I'm kind of curious how you set up a large newspaper for it. If I can find someone who's done newspaper layout, I'd like to ask them how they do that kind of setup. I could ask maybe my printer. Maybe he knows someone he can refer me to talk to. Okay, what else is going on in the next 10 minutes I have before I need to start cooking? What else is going on? The house is a little cleaner, although it's not looking it right now. I lift this thing up, see if I don't break it. So I've been sleeping there. I put a little screen up there just for privacy because both bedrooms were being used by guests. So I need to clean that up. What's this going on? I bought a small tower thing at Christmas tree shops, this $79 thing. Not the greatest looking piece of furniture, but it will at least get stuff out of the way, so overall it'll be a net win. Until I find a really, well, I guess I figure out really where I'm going furniture-wise. I'm not quite sure. I don't want to really put in thousands of dollars into it. The most expensive stuff that's in the room is the hardwood floor, which I think has made a big difference. That particular couch back there which is a modular couch which can reconfigure into a love seat, a bigger couch, an L table. It's actually pretty cool, but it was kind of expensive. I don't know if I want to buy any more of the pieces for that. Maybe one more so I can have like one traditional sofa plus armchair setup. But I don't know if it's really necessary. But what I'm trying to figure out these days now is just where I'm going to catch up. I've been like kind of running, anticipating a bunch of ends of projects and Dad coming, and I had to plan for next year's trip to Taiwan for his birthday. They're planning going around the March, April, May time frame, do a multiple celebration of birthdays, and I've kind of lost sync with all of my other work. So and I've lost sync with my gym habit and all sorts of things. So I need to reestablish habits this month. So I'm even looking at my Groundhog Day Resolutions review thing. Here, I haven't even started writing it yet. I need to review last month's, see where I did on this. I think I only set 2 things. I had written a really long one on October 10 that was designed to summarize everything up to that time, so I didn't have to redo a whole lot. I didn't have to reread everything. Yeah, this was the, I forgot what this was, actually. I don't think this actually made it into the blog post. But the idea was to have a running summary so I could see where I was mentally the last time I did something, and not have to spend all this, like, 8 hours, like, recapping the last month of work. So this will be the first test of it. It said looking forward, there were 2 things I wanted to do, which was the website and to draw a strength from the audacity of enjoying what I like in public. And that is, I guess I think I've done fairly well, but I just haven't finished the website stuff part. I think one of the key insights I had about why the website was so important to me, I mean, I'm using WordPress right now. It works fine as a blogging platform. The problem with WordPress, I realized that it's, even in its so-called distraction-free writing mode, the real distraction is WordPress itself as a system. Every time you log into WordPress, there's a new plugin to update, there's new spam, there's new hacking attempts, there's new backup alerts. It does everything to prevent you from actually doing the work. It's all about maintenance. Every time you open up WordPress, it's maintenance. And so it sucks. It really just sucks, like, using the platform now, because there are so many maintenance issues that you have to deal with, and it's like going into a messy office. There's no place to sit until you update this plugin, or oh, there's this alert, some guy from Russia is trying to hack into your website, and so now you're worried about if you have a security plugin issue. If you're running security plugins, it's telling you that you need to update all these things, or these files have changed, and you need to make sure that these files have changed because they're supposed to, or if they're actual hack attempts. And if you know anything about these things, you can go and research that stuff. Research that stuff. But if you don't know anything about those things, then you just worry all the time. And like, who wants to deal with that? So, by switching to my own obscure system that is still secure by virtue of omitting all the scriptable components of the website, I should reduce quite a lot of that distraction, and I can just use a pure writing environment that looks a lot like my text editor. So I can just write text in, something like this, although not this specific thing. If I switch to this one, this is the project I was working on, so I could have work on posts organized by year and date that are basically straight text, run a compiler, and then have it just uploaded. And also have it work in a format that I think will be much more conducive to sharing information. Almost like an online version of this Quiver notebook that I'm using, where I can have things organized by subject, by topic, have good information that I update on the fly, and that have that available to people. So I think that continues to be the primary focus for my month. And someone is talking in the chat. What are they saying? This is so exciting. The Guitarpreneur page. Just found production tools, devouring them. Thanks so much. Oh, thanks for checking out the Immersion Task Planner Guitarpreneur page. I will check out your page. Um, yeah, so I need to work on those planner updates too. If you're not familiar with them, I do these these productivity tools. This particular one I think he's talking about is the Immersion Task Planner, a daily journal. I thought I dropped the price on this at $2. Yeah, I did drop the price on, because this is the end of the year, and like there's so people can at least download it and check it out. It's actually a good deal when you consider that you get the blank versions of these forms. Oh, I do need to update these to the version 4 design too. Yeah, there's a huge number of things that I need to do. So I'm looking at this page right now. This is the ETP page. There's the planners. You can get to that from this page. Version Task Planner. I still even haven't put the version 4s up here because I haven't figured out what the it sounds crass when I say it, the monetization strategy will be for it. But I don't know. There's a lot of work to do on the e-commerce side of things, but that has to come after the website, and it's just been so many things to get out of the way. Yeah, so with Dad visiting here and family, this is gonna be really busy, I would think, until December 1st, basically. And then like another project kicks up around then. So I need to figure out a way of managing all these kind of mentally intensive tasks, and still, oops, the cat's switching scenes on me, and still manage to make progress on these website things. And this is going to be something new to me. I'm not really good at focusing on more than one project at a time. I like to really throw myself intensively into one project. Making slow projects and multiple projects, doing that by myself, it's torture. It's much more interesting if someone else is managing the project. And even though it's kind of a distraction, though, at least someone else is managing the continuity of things. I don't have to manage the continuity of multiple projects. I would prefer it if I was only doing one thing at a time, or kind of organically growing, like harvesting productivity from these various plants and trees that I've put out there. And I think it's possible to do that. That was a productivity system I was working on earlier this year. Oops, I got 2 minutes. And I think there's got some legs to it, and I just need to formalize it. I've been writing a little bit about it in the past, and I've been talking a little bit about it in the co-working chat room. Guitarpreneur says, I was talking about your ETP spiral notebooks. Oh, okay, yeah. Not the 60-day planner. Yeah. Yeah, on the 365-day planner, like the reason why I don't make a notebook of that is like I make this stuff in the United States. And so I'm using a local print shop. It's a fairly large commercial press. But to do like the data-driven, customized per-page stuff, either you need to make a giant production run and print overseas in China or someplace like that. Like it was well beyond my means to produce a consumer-priced, spiral-bound, like dated calendar, unless I commit to like a pretty large sum of money. They're not guaranteed to make back. Or I had to print them one-off on using a print-on-demand technology, and then each dated journal ends up being like $50 worth of printing paper. And then to make any kind of profit on selling that, then I had to sell for $75. And I had to figure out the bindings and stuff, and it's been difficult to source like really, really nice bindings. Although I have some ideas about this recently. There's just so many e-commerce things to figure out. What I really want to do is make good products that are available for like a fair price. And it's difficult to make things at a fair price, like considering that the consumer pricing these days is, like you expect a decent notebook for about $9. If you're producing a decent notebook for $9, that means you need to like be able to produce it for about $3. And then you have to get it into the warehouse system and plan on another 30% of markup from middle people, or if it's wholesale, they expect to be half their retail price. So, at most you could sell it for, $4.50. Yeah. Guitarpreneur says, have you considered Kickstarter or Indiegogo? Yeah, I've seen a lot of planners start out there. I've actually helped a few people with some planner designs for that. It's a matter of having the designs in place, I think. Kickstarter is a lot of work to put together, and I haven't had the bandwidth to do it with my paying work and so forth. On the other hand, I think I can like self-fund some of this stuff. I've been saving the money from Patreon. So every month, like maybe about $100 comes in, but I haven't been withdrawing from it. I've been waiting to get to the point when it can fund some of these things, and then that would offset the cost of production, and then patrons could like get it at a fair cost, and then that way kickstart things. So that might be more fun. But it would be cool to do a Kickstarter sometime. Like if I do the big notebook, and I've been trying to work with my printer on this for the past 2 years, trying to source the right materials for it. You wouldn't believe how difficult it is to find nice particle board or nice cardstock to use in a notebook. It took like 2 or 3 years to find the vinyl that I use in the current notebooks that I sell on Amazon, because no one stocked it like in the price or have sourced it for the suppliers that this printer had available. Until like one day, the one salesman just happened to pull it out, and Frank said, "What's that?" I said, "Oh, that's just some vinyl." It says, "Like, yeah, I haven't seen this before." So it's like, "Oh, how much does it cost?" It's 30 cents a sheet, whereas before we were looking at $2 per cover for the quantities that we needed. So it's ridiculous. Someday there will be a Kickstarter, but I need to figure out how to manage all these independent projects in the meantime. But it's 7:30 now, and I need to get going and cooking for my dad. Thanks, Guitarpreneur page. That's a cool name. Now I'm dying to know what you do. Let's take a look at this. Guitarpreneur. Can I find this on YouTube? Guitarpreneur. Yeah, one of the things I like about doing this stream is I just like seeing what other people are doing. I hope this is it. Guitarpreneur.com, a portal to all things Adam Smale. Okay. Oh, jazz guitar. Nice. Is there a maybe there's a YouTube channel. Let's see. Or just paste the link in if you're still watching. Guitarpreneur. Can I just click on the link? Is this the guy? Oh, nice. Let me just make sure it's the right page though. If I go to look at the link, I guess I can't click on it. Maybe that's a thing. I suppose I could search for this. I guess this was the same one? Okay, I'll check this out later. Wish I could play guitar. I've been thinking about learning to play bass. This all looks awesome. Sweet. Check this out. Yeah, so thanks for checking out. And I gotta get going. I gotta cook dinner for Dad, otherwise he'll get hungry. And the cat is probably hungry too. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I will maybe catch up later with doing some virtual co-working, doing the Groundhog Day Resolution review process live. Since I have to do it anyway. I don't really feel like doing it. So I might as well inflict this pain on everybody else who's watching. So anyway, I might be back to later today, or definitely tomorrow I'll get like another daily What's Up stream going, and hopefully there's more stuff to report on. I hope we'll have that cabinet built, which should improve a lot of the storage issues in the co-working space here. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. Count 10 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19.